couple of weeks ago, I got a flat tire up in the woods. We were morel mushroom picking, and got a flat and had to change it. So I went in. The tire was shot. There's wires poking out. So I went in and I got 4 new used tires from the tire shop, and they told me my brake pads were worn out. And if you've never replaced these before, it's really not that hard. I've heard of them charging up to $300 to change your brake pads, and unless they replace the whole rotor and everything, which usually they don't, you can do this easy and quick. It's not that hard. I just I bought new ones. This is my old set. They're not that badly worn, so I'm kind of wondering what's going on there. Show you the new one, compare them. This part here, this thick part, that's the surface that rubs. It's not that badly worn. See, this one, it's got about half what it should, but that would still last for a really long time. So anyway, I'll show you how to do this. It's really easy. First thing you got to do, of course, is take the tire off. That almost takes as much time as replacing these. There's a pin right here and right here. They're 2 pieces of flat metal with the piece of rubber in between them. And to get those out, you just need to take a punch and punch them out of there. Okay, so this is what those look like. They're just 2 pieces of metal with a piece of rubber inside of them. They'll squeeze down and expand to fit into here. This piece here is called the caliper, and inside of it has a plunger and the brake pads. Believe it or not, we're almost done. Just take this off. Sometimes there's enough wear on your rotor there that you have to take and pry this a little bit to get it to expand. Let's see, what do I got I can pry with? That plunger just has to be compressed in there a little bit. And they should come right off. Okay. Okay, so this is the plunger that presses in. When you put your foot on the brakes, this oil line here will fill this cylinder up with oil, and because oil doesn't compress, it'll force this plunger outward, and that pinches your rotor together. Right here Right here is the back brake pad, and that one is pretty well worn. And this one here, this is the front one. Or the outside one anyway. So, the old pads are off. It's that simple. Now, because the old pads had worn down thinner, this plunger is going to be too far in for the new pads to fit on. I just take a C-clamp and compress that plunger back in a little ways. All that'll do is force the oil, or the brake fluid anyway, back up through the line to your master cylinder. Okay, so that's in there. Take the new pad. Whatever reason, there we go. Clip it onto the outside where that goes. Take the new inside pad, and it just sets in place here, just like that. Put your caliper back on. Over the top here. Just like that. Hard to see. Okay. Then you drive these pins back in. And because they do expand, sometimes they're a little hard to get started. So I take my pliers and I pinch them just a little bit, and that'll get them going in there. If you look at these, there's kind of a little tab on the tops, and then none on the bottom. And you have to get them in the right direction, because this is, you got to have them on this side where there's no, this is going to block them, and then they could possibly work their way through, but they fit in there really tight, so I don't think it's really that possible to do that. Okay. Okay, got that one started. And I got that one started. Just take and push them back in. And that's really all there is to it. New brake pads on there. Put the tire back on, and they should be working just fine. So save yourself $300. The brake pads cost me $30. So anyway, do them yourself, guys. Don't spend money on overpriced things. See ya.